how I yearn for you all with the affection of Christ, Jesus. And it is my prayer that your love may abound more and more with knowledge and all discernment. Now again, one of the problems I believe that we face in the church in the 21st century is this separation, this polarization of the mind and the heart. And in the Catholic tradition, two key attributes of how we are in the image and likeness of God is that we have a free will that can act, and we have a mind that can understand and know. That separates us from the animals. We have freedom of volition, will, heart, and understanding with the mind. And both those, the mind and the heart, are to work together. But oftentimes they're pitted against each other. And one of the problems in modern culture is this bifurcation of mind and heart. So you kind of have the sciences where you use your mind, but then people's everyday living is about the heart and emotions. And what's happened is you have this kind of anti-intellectualism that has developed, and it's embedded in our culture, deeply embedded. And I'll give you an illustration of this. Rather than someone saying, I disagree, here's my reason for X, Y, and Z, why I think this way. People say, I feel strongly about this. And I know other people feel strongly about this. And by saying that you feel strongly and other people feel strongly, you're making a case. And that trumps, if I said I think strongly about this, that doesn't have the force of saying I feel strongly about this. And all of us have probably used that language before. There's an assertion and a force behind feeling rather than thinking. Feeling trumps thinking in our culture. And that's a deep, deep problem. And Paul, in his letter to the Philippians, is going to talk about the mind. Because in a pagan culture, passions and feelings trump thinking, even within the remnant of the tradition of the Greeks, who had all the great philosophers. Even in Philippi, feeling can trump thinking. That's why I reacted when I see Paul says, I feel it's right for me to feel thus about you. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's exactly not how Paul would want to word himself, as we saw last time. Right? Thinking is very important. The mind is very important for Paul. And, the problem is if I say I think this, you can say, well, I could change his mind. But if I say I feel this, well, I've taken the high ground and there's no changing. Right? And so people act on feelings rather than thought in the mind. And therefore, truth. Because it's about the truth. And when you live in a relativistic age, feeling has to trump truth. And so the mind has to be denigrated if people are going to go against reason.